Now we get to the media. They're one and the same, really. I'm desperate to get to this Virginia stuff, but let's stay focused. We've got time. John King on CNN last night. John King. This man's supposed to be a journalist. I believe he used to be at AP, but I'm not sure. Cut 7, go.
Back to the Stacey Abrams speech. That's a very difficult job. That's the best response, Democrat or Republican, I can remember in some years. It's a very difficult job. It's a thankless job. But also you learn about the differences between the two parties. She talked about voting rights. She talked about climate change. And she talked about guns.
Wow. That's never been done before. Wow. Must have been a hell of a speech. Voting rights? They're not supporting voting rights. They support people voting who don't have the right to vote. It's anti-voting rights because it cancels out the vote of an actual citizen. She talks about climate change. Wow, Democrats have never done that before. And did she talk about the science behind it? No, they can't. And they won't. And she talked about guns. Let me guess. Controlling guns. Not criminals. Can't control criminals. But guns we can control. Can't control the damn border. But we'll control law-abiding citizens who own guns lawfully. Wow, what a contrast. We've never heard of that before, have we, Mr. Producer? Go ahead.
Hear any of those subjects from the president.
They didn't hear any of those subjects from the president. And by God, the president should have said, we want anyone to vote and everyone to vote without conditions. The president should have said, all right, I've changed my mind. I believe in climate change, a.k.a. destroying the economy, a.k.a. fake science. President should have said, abolish the Second Amendment. You know, democracy dies in darkness. There's only certain amendments we like. Really, only one. Not even the one. Only part of one. The part that protects these fools. Nobody else should be protected. So, the president failed to mention. We did not hear, he says, any of those subjects from the president of the United States. But you heard other subjects from the president of the United States. Like, don't kill babies. Like the job of a president and elected politicians is to represent the American citizen. I heard that one. Like, no to socialism. I heard that one. And by the way, this is the most pro-Israel president ever. Ever. Notice they don't tip their hat to him on that. Have you noticed that? Notice the Democrat Party and the media don't tip their hat to the president in his repeated statements about Israel, pro-Israel statements. Now, why is that? I've talked about this. The growing bigotry within the Democrat Party and, in fact, the growing bigotry within the media. Did Stacey Abrams bring up Israel? Did Stacey Abrams say it was a wonderful thing to recognize Jerusalem as their capital, which it's always been, and to move our embassy to the capital in Jerusalem? No. Well, why don't they say, you know, Stacey Abrams, she didn't mention that. She didn't mention building up the military. She didn't mention saving babies. Notice? Go ahead.
Democrats believe that animates their coalition. They believe it helps them, and they believe...
Yes, it animates their coalition. It helps them. But what about the country? Notice, media do not talk about the country. Democrats, it's about their base. It's about their political opportunism. Not about the country. Remember what I've always told you. For the Democrats, it's about party first, power first. Like the Marxists, this is the way it works. The country is something to be changed. The party is the vessel through which you do it. You must have allegiance to the party, the ideology that undergirds the party. People who come here must assimilate into the ideology of progressivism and big government, not Americanism and constitutionalism. Go ahead.
Especially on the issue of climate change, especially on the issue of voting rights, it helps them to talk about things the president won't talk about. You can shrug all you want.
I mean, the Republicans don't support any of those things. Why would you talk about it?
Well, all Americans should want our president, whatever the disagreements are, just look at his own national security review. Every leader...
Listen to this. Go ahead.
Party should be talking about climate change. It's just, well, you could have a debate about what to do about it, but he's the president of the United States at this moment.
I don't know how Rick Santorum can take it. I really don't. I salute him. So you hear this guy King. He sounds like Chuck Todd. The media had decided climate change, man-made climate change, you must embrace it or you're a fraud, a moron, and a denier. Debate over. Debate over. It's absolutely pathetic. John King knows nothing about the science for or against climate change. Man-made climate change. It's too stupid. Same with Chuck Todd. Too stupid. These are ideologues. And how dare Rick Santorum mention, hey, Republicans don't support any of those things. Why would you talk about them? Well, we in the media, we support them, and it shouldn't just be whatever your party wants, and you shouldn't. See what I mean? Now, when we come back, there'll be a little bit more of this. I don't mean to put you through verbal waterboarding here, but you need to know 76% of the people polled thought the president's speech was very good. Some of them thought it was great. Even the CNN poll showed that. Have you heard one of these leftists dressed up as journalists or hosts or anchors say anything significantly positive about the president's speech? No. That's why CNN plays to a tiny, tiny fraction of the population. MSNBC does the same thing. Because the Democrat Party base, the AOC base, the Bernie Sanders base, all the clowns on the left, their base is John King's base, is Jake Tapper's base, is Chris Cuomo's base, is Rachel Maddow's base, is Chris Matthews' base. The base is the same. It's the Castro wing of the Democrat Party. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin.